Uh, I loved playing football, and I always thought football was about the scoreboard and winning the games. And when you leave the game, and anybody who's been in the game long enough, you realize that it's not the score necessarily. You win a championship, and you get a ring and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's about the people you meet along the way and some of the experiences. And I'm sure every football player in this room has a similar experience that they can share. I was with the Hamilton Ticats late in my career, and it wasn't going real well. We had a bunch of coaches, some changes. The team wasn't doing well financially. We actually borrowed football pants from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you're a football player, you know that 2 days in training camp, the break between practice 1 and practice 2 is a blessing. The team was so poor, we practiced like an hour and a half after our first practice because they didn't want us to cut the tape off our shoes. They didn't want to do laundry. They were so cheap. So it wasn't going well. I'm thinking this is going to be end of the road. But I was asked to go to a Hamilton Boys and Girls Club to hand out T-ball trophies. Who's played T-ball here in the room? Yeah, baseball 101, right? The kid hits the ball and runs like the third base, runs the center field, runs all over the place. So all these kids are there for this banquet. Great kids. And they got their Blue Jays and their Orioles and their Yankees T-shirts on, and some have ketchup and mustard. Some have boogers on their shirts as well, right, because they're kids. And the coach lines them up and says, get autographs from Ken Evraire. Half the kids think I'm a Blue Jay. Half of them think I'm the janitor. They have no idea for the most part. But this one guy pulls up and says, Mr. Evraire. I said, oh, the first thing I thought was, he knows me. I said, yeah. He goes, can I get your autograph? Sure, no problem. Sign it, the card, and give it to him. And he stays in that spot. He says, Mr. Evraire? I said, yeah. He goes, do you want to swap shirts? Sure, why not, right? I get this T-shirt for free from the CFL, from the Hamilton Ticats. Here you go, kid. But as he took his baseball hat off, he had not a stitch of hair on his head. And he takes his shirt off, and I meet his parents afterwards, and I want to know the story. It turned out he'd been battling leukemia, and through chemotherapy, he lost all his hair. And so I gave the T-shirt back, and I don't see him. He puts a T-shirt on, hangs it down to his feet, and he's gone. He's gone, right? We play a year later against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at home, and the Winnipeg had James West and Paul Randolph and Greg Battle, and they kicked the crap out of us. And I took a helmet right in the elbow and blew up my bursa sack, so I looked like someone put a football in my elbow. But after the game, by then, late in my career, I just wanted to go home. And you have family and friends after the game telling you, get them next year, right? They're pretty good, but you guys will be there. We're like, yeah, I know, they're pretty good, and we'll get them next time, all that stuff. I just want to go home. But then I hear a voice, Mr. Evraire. I know that voice. And I look down. The second thing I noticed was the T-shirt. It had ketchup, mustard, boogers, destroyed it. The first thing I noticed was that he had curly hair like I did when I was a little boy. So you never know. It's not about the score. It's about the people and things you can do and how you can influence lives along the way. I'm not saying the T-shirt helped him, but at the same time, if it did, boy, he probably doesn't realize that it was a greater moment for me than it was for him.